Everybody's under judgment, right? Everybody is under judgment. Everybody will be judged mentally. Everybody will be judged mentally to see if they are fit to continue into the future, to see if your bloodline is fit to continue into the future. Who are you being judged by? God. Amen. The true name of God. This is who you're being judged by. When you see nations rising and falling, that is the judgment of God. The so-called Native Americans who once roamed this land freely, right, and who had a hand in getting rid of the Olmecs on this side once they crossed over the Bering Straits as the Asians under a man named Hu Shin and mixed their seeding with the Olmecs and the blacks that were over here. They had a hand in getting rid of them, right? They received judgment. They were allowed to be invaded by the white man, right, who came over here, sent his colony garbage, his prison garbage over here, thieves, robbers, murderers, and things like that, all the undesirables in England, let them out and unleashed them onto the so-called Native Americans, right? And over time, they were allowed to wipe these people out and totally take hold of this country and build a new nation. As the job was supposed to go to the so-called black man, right, and the black woman under the Olmecs. We were supposed to be building a continuing civilization that was an extension or a new version of Egypt, right? Because we didn't do that, because we were judged unfit, because we began to mix our seed with all these different people, instead of keeping our focus on the job, we were allowed to lose it. We were allowed to go into bondage. That was judgment for our people, for breaking the codes of conduct and the laws of God. That's real. That is real. That's real what the Israelites say. However, these guys keep breaking the damn law. Our people never seem to get it. They never seem to understand why it is that we suffer like we do. We suffer like we do as judgment, right? Judgment begets punishment, right? Judgmental, punishmental. The punishment is the disconnection from God, wiped out of the sight of God, like it says that the Israelites were wiped out of the sight of God in the Bible. It says that the Israelites were wiped out of the sight of God because of their transgressions, because of mixing their seed, because of breaking the laws, because of allowing lawless people to intermingle with them and spread negativity and break the laws and the statutes that were meant to lead the people into the future. They received judgment. When you see in the court systems, right, in the white man's court systems or any court system set up over the land, judges are sitting in judgment of you when you break the law. Where do you think they get that from? That's not something that just popped up out of their heads. They're following God, because the true people, your Masons and all these people, which set up the laws of the land, right? They understood that God was following, or God was leading a higher principle of what they ended up following. They understood that God judged. They understood this from ancient Egypt when you talk about the principle of Ma'at and judgment and this weighing of the scales. They understand that, right? Our people miss it all the time. Our people miss it, Our people miss that all the time, Our people miss the judgment. Our people think that they can escape judgment. You hear black people nowadays saying, I'm my own God. I know I'm not going to be judged. Everybody's judged. You look at the condition you in, you're being judged for that which you are not doing right. No one escapes judgment, whether you call it, when you get that saying from the East Indians, karma, right? You fell into karma. What do I mean by that? Humans who were created on the earth were judged by karma. You do something bad happens to you. You do something good happens to you, or something's returned to you that way, right? So being that we fell into the mindset of the human race, of mankind, and we fell out of connection with God, we are judged under mankind's laws. This is our judgment. Our judgment is a punishment. No one escapes judgment. I don't care if you can sit up here and say you don't believe in God. Don't matter. You ain't got to believe in God. Factually, man is following out what God set out first. Man is not doing nothing that God hasn't done. We're following a path that was already laid out. Man is not thinking of nothing that God hasn't thought of. God allowed the white man to come here and set up America. He allowed our people to go into slavery. He allowed the so-called Native Americans to be wiped out. The Israelites are so simple-minded. They'll sit up here and show you how simple-minded they are. They'll sit up here and say, oh, God allowed our people to go into slavery and be overtaken by the white man. Then they'll turn around and say that it was unfair that the white man wiped out the Native Americans and took their land. Well, if you believe that God is over all of that and God allowed the black man to go into slavery and the black woman, then why do you stick up for the Native Americans and say that it was wrong for the white man to take their land, which is really not their land? It's all God's land. It's not your land if you didn't create the land. But if these people were, you say that these people were judged and punished, right? Then why are you mad at the white man? What are you mad at him for? If you believe that all judgment and punishment comes from the hand of God, then that means that God punished the Native Americans too, just like he punished the blacks. But it seems like a lot of times the Israelites, they stick up for the Native Americans over the blacks. Like, you whip the black people extra hard, but the so-called Native Americans who you think are your people, you sit up here and you stand up in judgment of these people and say, or you stand up for these people and say, oh, what the white man did, because you always hear that in their big speeches, wrong what the white man did to them, right? God allowed it to happen. God builds kingdoms, right? God allows man to build kingdoms after his kingdom. God allows man to build empires or societies after his society, because God is the ruler of a society beyond this realm. We are following the society of God, the image of God. Everything that we are doing, God has done already. Everything that we're doing on a lower level, we're following something. No, we're not thinking of anything, right? We're not thinking of anything. Things are being generated into our head, either on a higher level, mentally, or on a submental state, on a lower level. And the beast, he is the controller of the submental world. This is what God allows him to keep structure and order over the submental world. That's why the elite, the powers that be, they say they're in tune with God. They are in tune with God. They are in tune with God to keep whole or keep judgment over the lower world, over the submental state. So that's why you are under him. You are under his jurisdiction. Because black people, you have sinned, or you have broke your laws. You severed your connection with God, so now you're under him. That's why you will suffer all your days here. That's real. It's not no preaching or no religious rigmarole. I don't deal with religion. I deal with reception. We have bad reception from God. We are receiving bad reception from God. What do I mean by that? I mean that we're supposed to be receiving God's reception, his messages, in order to move us forward. And that would put us out of the realm of judgment of mankind and back in tune with him. But best believe we will be judged. Just as the white man will be judged, the black man will be judged, the so-called Native Americans, the East Indians, these people will all be judged. Right? No society stays going forever. None. I believe the oldest society that continues to this day is is India, right? The oldest society that continues today. These people somewhat kept the laws of God. in their own lane, in their own realm. They kept the laws. You know, rarely did you see them mix their seed, which is a big lawbreaker. Because if God gave man or separated man, black, white, Indian, whatever you call yourself, if he separated the races, then that means you were not supposed to intermingle the races. That's breaking the law. You ever really see the so-called East Indians mix their seed? Right? You ever see them mix their seed? They pretty much stay with their people. When you break the law like that, when you break the racial law, the barrier, that is judgment that you receive. Right? That's judgment you receive. You look at the children of these relationships. Now, a lot of people will be mad at me, the so-called race mixers and the people who are mixing their seed, they'll get mad at me, but you don't get mad at me, get mad at God. God made separation for a reason. If God wanted us all to be the same, we would have been the same. Now, there's nothing wrong with saying that. It's the truth. I'm just stating a fact. It has nothing to do with racism or me being racial. It's just a fact. We were made different. We can learn to respect each other's differences, and we don't have to cross that line and intermingle with one another because we will receive that punishment or that judgment from God. God made the races separate so that they would know each other, so that they wouldn't intermingle with each other. Because when they intermingled with each other, that caused confusion. Right? That put us in line with certain genetic traits that we're not supposed to have, certain diseases and certain things that we inherit that we're not supposed to have. Ages us. God separated his people, right, by hair texture, by skin texture, for a reason from everybody else. He made it okay for the human race to mix, right? Certain people within, not us. We were made separately for each other, but we broke the judgment, right? We broke the law, so we receiving the punishment. The black man's favorite thing is only God can judge me. Only God can judge me. Who you to judge me? You already been judged. Y'all finished. You already been judged. That's why, like I said, when I put it on Facebook, I said the black man and black woman say God can only judge you. That why you think you're getting shot down in the hoods, why you think you're getting beat up by the police, and you crying police brutality and unfair treatment, but you getting shot down in the hood by the police. Why is God allowing that to happen? Right? Why is God allowing you black men to shoot each other down, disrespect each other? He allows the white man to shoot you down and the police to shoot you down because y'all break the law. You broke his law, so now you under the white man's law. Now he's going to deal with you the way God deals with you. He allowed the white man to deal with you because you broke the law. Y'all out here selling drugs, basically standing around doing nothing. Because I'm going to tell you something, even when you're doing nothing, you're breaking the law. What do I mean by that? God put you here for a reason, right? He didn't put you here to be a nothing, a zero, a nobody, right? He put you here for a reason to do something. He gave you a purpose. And a lot of you black men and black women today, y'all don't know what your purpose is. You just here taking up damn space. You just here talking about nothing. You just here meandering around the damn planet, being a nuisance, sitting around here talking about nothing. And God set you here to do something. He gave you a purpose, and you don't know what your purpose is. The white man is more useful than you are now. He's more useful. The East Indian. Everybody's more useful than the damn black man and black woman. Right? So what happens when you're no longer useful? You're judged as useless. And if you're judged as useless, you're gotten rid of. That's why your genetics are being allowed to be mixed out of society. And you stand up, the so-called black revolutionaries and all these black people stand up for it, and they screaming racism this and racism that, and the white man is this and the white man is that. And they going all this. What are you doing for your people? What are you doing for your people other than running your mouth? How are you helping the relationship of our people to grow better and stronger and evolve? How are you doing that? What is the black man doing? What is the black man and black woman doing to foster the evolution of our people? Not a damn thing. They're not doing nothing. Our people are doing nothing to foster the evolution of our race. So now you under judgment. Stop sticking up for the so-called Native Americans and all these other people and whatnot and talk about how better off they got it. The black man and the black woman are going the way of the Native Americans. Like I said, just as the white man is now able to stand up and say he's the damn Native American. Because you look at who they classify as Native American. You see white people calling themselves Native Americans. They letting their hair grow long. And they calling themselves Native Americans. Pretty soon, in the next 20 years or so, you're going to see that a lot of mulattoes and all these people, like that Soledad O'Brien. She's sitting up here, right, on the news talking about black people in America. They use her, right, to describe black people in America. So just as you'll have a new black race of people, where the old so-called black race, you people with this brown carbon in your skin, you're not even going to be classified as a black race because majority of y'all going to be going, y'all about to go the way of the so-called Native Americans in a minute because they became useless. The remainder of them that's out here, they sitting on damn reservations somewhere or on alcoholics and on drugs, right? And still under that illusion that they got some land here in this country that really belongs to them. Right? And you see the white man, he's claiming to be a Native American because the government done gave out all that money to so-called Native American people that have Native American ancestry. Right? So of course, all the white people, they coming out of the woodwork for that scam to get they paycheck. Right? That's what's going on. Our people are under judgment because you're doing nothing to be the physical luminaries of God. You're doing nothing to be the physical counterparts of God. What do I mean by that? As God is sending orders, sending frequency, sending messages, sending reception through the atmosphere onto earth, our people are supposed to be receiving it and carrying out his law on earth. That's what our people are supposed to be doing, raising our children as law-abiding people, lawful people, clean people. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But y'all sit up here talking about y'all God-fearing people and y'all God people and your God body, and you guys, y'all sitting around here smoking weed, getting high, getting drunk. You understand? Laying down with the beast. You doing everything. You breaking all the laws. And you Israelites, y'all still breaking the damn law. You still breaking the law. Y'all still doing it. And then you want to sit up here and blame the white man. Blame God. He allowed this to happen. Because you're no longer his people. He don't recognize you no more. He recognizes the white man before he recognizes you as his people. Why? Because the white man, he's keeping the law. You don't like to say that. You don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Like I said, when you black women or whatever, something happened in your house, you calling the police first. You calling the white man to help restore order. When your man is getting out of control or he beating the hell out of you, you calling the white man to restore order, to calm him down, to take his black ass to jail. That's real. That's real. You black men, y'all out of order. God don't recognize you as his people no more. He don't recognize you. And stop with this nonsense about you, God. You ain't no gods. You barely act like men. Your woman sees that in you. And all she can do right now is coddle you. That's all she can do. Y'all not willing to stand up like men. You're not ready to keep God's law. And not keeping God's law is not growing some beard all over your damn face or sitting up here wearing a robe or standing on the corner reading out of some old outdated Bible. That's not keeping God's law. Right? Keeping the law of God is keeping the law of man. Being an upright man. Being a man who takes care of your family. Raises your children. Being fathers to your children. Being men to your women. Being real men, creating businesses where your woman ain't got to go out and work for no other man. Not allowing your woman to be on welfare. Not allowing yourself to be lazy and do nothing and not working hard. That's being a God. If you're not standing up being like that, then you're not God. You're not connected with God. God don't recognize you as his people. Calling yourself God is an insult to God. Calling yourself Egyptians and all those people that you calling yourself in the name of is an insult to them. Right? You black women out here, like I said, y'all out here calling yourself goddesses, but you carrying yourself like whores. You letting everybody spread you open, lay up with you. You're not carrying yourself like women. You're not carrying yourself like a sisterhood. You know, you fronting. You putting yourself out in the open like that, and you making it seem as though you're like that, but that's not the truth. Because you look at your life, you look at your stray children that you have, right? How no man is staying with you, how you keep laying down perpetually with the wrong man, right? And getting up with stray children. See, our people will say, "Oh, we don't want to hear that because it sounds like you preaching at people." No, we're telling the truth here tonight, right? We're telling the truth here tonight. The intellectual Nuben Menkares is telling the truth here tonight. I'm even under judgment. I can't escape judgment. Because if I don't do the right thing and telling the truth to my people of being an upright man and working toward that, then I'm under judgment. I'm going to fall under the beast. You understand? We're discussing that in deep, deep, deep attentiveness. Excuse me, I'm messing the word up. Attentiveness tonight. I'm messing the word up. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This is State of Mental Radio. I know I'm introducing halfway into the broadcast, but for those of you who haven't heard, this broadcast or don't know my name, I'm constantly addressing this topic for the evolution of our people. Judgment. It's been a theme throughout my broadcast. I might touch on it lightly because it's necessary for a people to measure themselves by a higher standard, right? Because a next world is coming. A next world is coming. And the people who don't measure up in the next world, right? The people who don't measure up in the new world will come. A next world is going to come and it's going to be replaced with a new people. It's going to be replaced. It's going to be governed by a new people. Just as Egypt went out, just as Rome went out, just as Sumeria went out, just as all these societies go out, another world comes in. A next world comes in with a new people. A people who can move forward. A people who can move on. A people who are thinking on a higher level. A people who are willing to follow the law to the letter. A people who are not going to fall under that submental state, right? Who are not going to allow themselves to become degenerate in their thinking. Who are not going to allow their generations or their genetics to become degenerate. Who are not going to allow their genetics or their generation or future generation to lay down with degenerates. I said this before. I said black people, we don't separate based on intelligence. We don't separate based on genetics. We don't separate like that. The white man do. We don't separate based on black trash and that which is on a higher level mentally. We don't separate that way. We don't do that. We allow ourselves to be thrown in with all the law breakers and the people who are doing wrong and all the negative people around us, and we'll say, "Oh, we all black." And we're supposed to get all under that banner and under that flag, and then, we start this nonsense about, no judgments, don't judge. You're supposed to judge. You're supposed to judge. We're supposed to judge the people that are around us. We're supposed to judge the people who are around us. Because God judges. And if you say you're God, then you're supposed to judge, and you're supposed to hold yourself to a standard like God. You're supposed to hold yourself to a standard like God, like his people. God bodies. What does that mean? How are you God bodies if you smoking weed and cigarettes and eating all the wrong foods? You already disrespecting the temple. You disrespecting the body. Understand that? How are you God bodies? How are you God's people, lawful people? You're just spitting words out of your mouth, and you're not ready to live up to it. The white man is ready, willing and ready and able to live up to it more than you are. He's ready to stand on that. He's ready to stand on that. He's ready to stand up for it. He's ready to keep order. He's still in power because he is willing to stand up and keep order. He follows a better moral code than our people now. Because as I said, all the black power people who say, oh, down with the white man, down with the system, down with all this, down with that, like I said, down with this world, are you ready to step in? Are you ready to step in and police the world? Are you ready to step in and be the law keepers of God? Are you ready to step in and pass judgment, or will you be corrupt? Will you be as corrupt or just as corrupt or more corrupt than the white man that you claim is the devil? I think you will. I don't think you're ready for that. I don't think the black man want it. You understand? I don't think you want it. I don't think the black woman want it. Y'all so used to being the carbon copies of other races of people and following other people, you don't know how to take the lead anymore. You don't know how to take the lead. Taking the lead is not beating on your chest and proclaiming and professing that you God instead of you ain't standing up and making God-like moves in the world. You're not standing up and making God-like moves. You're moving like ants. You're moving like roaches. If you stand up and proclaiming to be God, you're supposed to be making God-like moves. Right? That's what you're supposed to be doing. But what do you black men do? When you see somebody standing up trying to make God-like moves, you hate on them. Another person that look like you hate on them. You know? You hate on them because you're not doing it. You want to downplay it. That's what you've become. A bunch of sub-mental people. Our people need a whipping. We need a whipping. We need a whipping from our own belts. Right? Society already done whipped you, so we need a whipping from our own belts. Right? Because we the only ones that can sit up here and dish it out because we know what the problem of our people is. We still walking around here ashamed, and we don't want other races of people to know what we know deep down. You don't think they know already? You don't think they know that we carry ourselves like the worst of the worst people? They know it. They know it. Judgment is the judgmental sentence of God. Someone is judging everything on the planet. The white man is not the only judge on the planet. He is the judge of the lower world. He is allowed to keep order in the submental state. But God sits over him. He means it when he says, "In God we trust." He means it, and he believes that, and he knows it to be true that someone sits over him in judgment. He answers to a higher authority. I always keep telling y'all that. Y'all believe he's the higher authority. Why? Because you're out of tune with God. You know, you're out of tune with God based on your own ego. Based on your own ego, you cut your connection with God. You black men want to say, oh, ain't no spook God, ain't no mystery God, it ain't no I'm God. Really? Really? You sitting in jail, you sitting in the projects talking about you God, and these people are sitting up on Park Avenue and sitting up in beautiful big mansions. Who's God? You sure it's you? Or is it them? Is it them when you get up and go to work for them in the morning? Right? You know why that's the dynamic? That's the dynamic because y'all sit up here and you want to beat on your chest and profess to be God while they out here doing the work to be gods. That's the real problem right there. They're out here doing the work to be gods. Y'all want to sit up here and beat on your chest and profess. But if somebody handed you over the world and said, okay, y'all in charge, now be gods, you black men will run like children. You black women, you'd run off the throne too. You wouldn't stand up and be gods. You can't even stand up and come together under a new movement or a new organization. See, because that's what the reception of God is all about. Coming in tune with God to receive his intelligence on earth, to become those upright people again. You know? Something is keeping these people in power. Something is keeping the white man in power. God is keeping him in power. God is keeping him in power because he is willing to uphold the law. He is willing to police the world. You black men, y'all ain't going to do that. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all can't even police your damn self. You take all of the things he gives you, all of the things that make you small, that keep you small. You keep all of his little distractions, all of his drugs, all the things that keep you ignorant and irresponsible, and you just keep consuming it. You keep consuming the filth and the poison. So what? You cleaned yourself up off of pork or beef or have a good diet, but you still alcoholics. Or you doing something, you smoking weed, you smoking cigarettes, or you sitting around here not doing anything for the collectiveness of your people. You sitting around acting like black hippies. You letting your hair grow long and dreads, and you sitting around talking about a bunch of nigga nonsense, peace and love and culture and Jah Rastafari. You niggas are a bunch of hippies. That's what you do. Anything just to drop out, tune out, and not be responsible. That's what you are. That's what you've become. And you walk around, you think because you walk around with an ankh around your neck from a dead society, a dead civilization, that you think you are following after those people, that you're connected with those people because you share the same skin tone. You got to be kidding me. That's the extent of your power. That's the extent of what it's come down to. That's what it's come down to. You and your black rhetoric, you and your ankhs, you and your culture, freedom, and hip hop and whatever nonsense you talking about. In the real world, it don't mean nothing. In the real world, you don't mean nothing. That's your judgment. That you will forever be under the foot of these people. And if not these people, when they fall out of power, the next people that are coming up, the Japanese, they'll be your new damn slave masters. The Asians, they'll be your slave master. Hell, they already cooking your food in the hood. They already feeding you. They'll be your new slave masters in the hood. You understand? Because you people are irresponsible. You've been deemed unnecessary. Judgment has come for our people. Judgment has already come for the black race. Judgment has come for the human race. Right? And it's only about the people who are functioning, right? It's only about the people who are functioning as receptionaries or receptionists of God. The white man is receiving, and we're supposed to be the high receivers. We're supposed to be the ones that are receiving God's intelligence and power on earth. But the black man don't want it. He don't want it. The black woman don't want it. They're in darkness. They want the false gods. They want the gods that will prevent them from being gods. They want to follow the gods that will prevent them from being gods. They want the lesser gods, just like in Egypt. How the Egyptians had the lesser gods to follow. Right? They had the lesser gods to follow them. The Egyptians gave people the lesser or the lower gods to follow, the people who were simple-minded, the submental people. And they said the true and living God is for them. That's what they did in this society today. It's the same thing all over again. They gave you the submental gods, the lower gods, the Allahs, the Jesus, the Yahweh-Shahs, the Yahshuas. They gave you all the submental lower gods to follow. Right? Now you in connection with nothing. You're not in tune with nothing. You ain't got to worry about the judgment of God. Y'all already been judged a long time ago. Oh, Israel, you've been judged a long time ago. Y'all finished. There's nothing you can do because you wouldn't do it anyway. It's a wrap for the black race. The judgment has went out. That's why all this stuff keeps happening to you. Right? The black men that are out here that's making this money and doing things in the world, like I said, they're just caretakers and they're helping to distract you to make you think that it's not as bad as it really is. But it is. Y'all think if y'all can make $1 million, everything gonna be okay. You think money's the answer. You got simple-minded Negroes out there who keep talking about money's the answer, money's the answer, money's the answer. They keep on saying that. They keep on saying if you know how to get money. And I'm not saying money's not gonna. People don't need money, but that's not the answer. I keep saying that. Our people still don't get it because they sitting here keep talking about being their own gods. The only way you're gonna become your own God. Well, let me even just get away from that. Because you are not your own God. You belong to God. You belong to that higher race of beings. Just like when the white man tells you you in the army, he says you belong to the army, son. You belong to the Navy, son. You belong to the Marines, son. You belong to God. Ain't no such thing as you. What made you think that? What lie got you believing that it's just you as an individual? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as you as an individual. That's an illusion that they paint and give you in the society. Even when you think that you're not under judgment, you are. Because when you all gather collectively, that's the judgment. I tell the people all the time, for all you people that claim you in tune with what I'm saying and that you like what I'm saying, that's fine. I said, but what are you doing to help spread this message? See, because now you're under judgment. I said, once the people know the truth, once the truth comes to the people, once this truth and this intelligence comes from God and comes into this, starts coming back strong into this atmosphere, and the righteous people, the ones who are right and just in their actions, once they start receiving these messages and this frequency, and once it's starting to be taught, if you're not out here trying to strengthen the frequency and find the people, then you've been judged. You're being judged as useless. Because if you saying to me, oh, I know, because somebody got into this thing with me on Facebook talking about, yeah, brother, I know the truth, brother, I know the truth. You don't know nothing. Knowing don't mean nothing. Doing means something. Once you know the truth, then what? And since you claim you know the truth, then what? What's next once you know the truth? What comes out of all these conferences and all this talk up and all this so-called conscious talk? What comes out of that afterwards? Right? Is a nation being built, a real nation, not some niggas just standing around going back and forth, cursing each other out and arguing. That's not a nation. That's a bunch of madness and confusion. That's WWF wrestling. Right? That's Jerry Springer. That's not a nation of people. What happens once you claim you know the truth? What are you doing to wake our people up collectively to come together? What are you doing to put your ego away and bringing our people under as one nation under God, or in tune with God? Or should I say one nation with God, not under God, but with God. Mankind stands under God. We're supposed to be standing with God. What are you doing to bring your people in tune with God? Nothing. Not a damn thing. So I tell people on Facebook, all you people are saying, yeah, mentor, this, that, and that. I'm not paying no attention to you. I'm not paying no attention to you. Your well wishes and things like that, all the people who wish me well and whatnot. Like I said, I'm out here being an instrument of God. I'm being an instrument of Amen. Because I'm out here teaching my people. I'm out here writing the books. I'm out here putting the work in. If you're not functioning in some capacity, then you're judged as useless. Because if you are fortunate enough to hear or have that encoded in you to hear the message, and they acknowledge that this is the truth, then you're supposed to be part of this thing, part of this state, and helping to spread this message. You're supposed to be here helping to spread this message in some way, shape, or form, helping to get this message out. Not sitting up here and talking about, oh, I'm with you, brother, and I like what you saying and whatnot, but I'm still going to be out in the world, and I'm going to still be, with my peoples and smoking weed and doing whatever I'm doing, or just being a regular nigga in the world. That means you're judged as useless, because the whole damn black race has already been judged as useless. The majority of the black race has been judged as useless. How are you going to take a people into the future and try to explain something based on higher intelligence to a bunch of people who all they want to do is sit around and play video games all day, smoke weed, talk a bunch of nigga nonsense, talk about the strip club or rims or whatever y'all foolishness you talking about, or you black men getting your hair done? You know the drill. Well, I don't have to keep going through it. Y'all already know what it is, the simple-minded nonsense that y'all talk about and the things y'all do every day, which is nothing. Your concerns, which are about nothing. So don't sit up here and say you in tune with God. No, you're not. You in tune with man. You follow man. You don't follow God, because it would be shown in your works. Your works don't speak about it. The last true God people on earth was the nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was starting the gathering of God's people. People who were able to collectively come together and work together and live for, of, and by each other and relax their egos. Sure, you had some egos within the thing, but like I said, in order for people to start working together, collectively coming in tune with God as one nation, within God or under God, as they would say, that's how our people start to be in tune, not as individuals, collectively. Collectively. Because who is the future movement of people that are coming in tune with God? America says one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all of them. For all of them. You second. But that just goes to show you that they are trying to be, or they are working to stay in tune with God. They're working to stay in tune with God. They understand the power of God. The black man and black woman, y'all really don't understand the power of God. You really don't get it. You really don't get the power of God. You think God is in the back of y'all mind. Yeah, and y'all still believe this. If you can't see God, then God ain't real. I'm God. No, if you're not functioning as God, then you are not God. If you're not functioning as God, then you're not God. You're just a regular man who is in a mantle or on a mantle or beneath the mantle of the submental state. I said in class, I said that mankind places races of men on a mantle, aka a mental state. He places you on a mantle, right? That's why he gives you the IQ test. The IQ test is to measure the level of your intelligence because he puts you on a mantle. And the black man and black woman are under or beneath or on the bottom part of the mantle, right? Everybody else is on top of you. You are the foundation, which means you're at the bottom, right? You're the primitive people. So they are constantly looking to rid themselves of those type of people so that they can move on. Useless eaters. And God is allowing that to happen. Why? Because you refuse to listen to God. You refuse to listen to the message of God because y'all done got proud. Because y'all wanted to partake in things here. You look to man as God. You look to yourselves as God, and y'all not doing anything worthy to be calling yourselves God. You understand? You're not doing anything to be considered God. Y'all just want to sit here and y'all want to, like I said, be regular people. Y'all want to be professors and people who pay lip service. You don't want to live this. You don't want to live it. You understand? You don't want to live it. Y'all want nice words. The black woman wants spiritual, nice words. She want to hear spiritual talk. Right? She want to hear nice words. She want to hear that God love everybody, and that's the kind of God she is. But you still out here doing nothing. You're out here doing nothing but professing to love God and be of God, but you're not doing anything to spread the message of God. Nothing for real. You out here in the image of the false gods. Jesus Christ, Allah, and all the false gods. You out here talking this spiritual crap, this abstract nonsense. This God is love and God is peace and all that hippies BS. You understand? How you show God's true love for the people is by structuring and getting their behinds in order, collectively, as a nation, as a state, as a society. That's how you show, and you show that you are working in unison with God, because God structures all things. God organizes all things. If you're not out here trying to be part of the movement or the organization of God, and I'm not talking about no religion, not religion, the reception of God, because that's what we are in the state of mental. The state of mental and the knowledge and the intelligence of mental life is reception, not religion. The reception of God is supposed to line the people up and bring them together collectively. If you're not coming together collectively with other people of God, then you're not the people of God. You're just out here taking up space, and you've been judged as useless. So I got more respect, and I said this on Facebook. I said I got more respect for the Negroes that's out here, the simple-minded, because at least they know there's no God for them. They know it's no God for them. Right? The white man is their God. They already told you. The rappers already showed you when they hung Jesus on their neck. The white man is their God. So there's no God for them. He's their God. So if he's their God, and he is still deep down in your minds, you black people, you people that still putting the white man up as God, deep down, because y'all still believe the white man is your God. If he is your God, then the God over him Like I said, he's over him, which means he's over y'all. You don't want the direct connection or the direct contact with God. You don't want that. Our people have been out of tune with that. Egypt was allowed to fall. You understand? It was allowed to fall by God because they started letting all these people in, and they started mixing their seed outside their race and breaking the law of God. They wasn't supposed to do that. They knew the law. They knew they wasn't supposed to mix their seed. That's why Pharaoh, I forget what his name is, when you had another leader of a country, I think it was Persia or whatever, I forget, one of the pharaohs, I believe it was Khufu or somebody, he kept asking, the Persian leader kept asking the pharaoh to send women from their country over to Persia, to mix their seed, and he kept saying nah, he wouldn't do it. But he said, but you can send your women over here, the black man. He said, you can send your women over here, and they were sending their women over there, and the black man was breaking the law, still mixing his seed, but they wouldn't send their women out there. He said, send your daughters over to here, and so we can have them as wives. And he's like, yeah, but he would never do it. Right? That's a real story. That's a true account. I forget what the pharaoh now, I believe it was Khufu or somebody like that. I forget what the pharaoh was, but they knew the law against mixing the seed. But some of them broke the law. They broke the law. That's why when they were going into, and then building this society, they set up a heavy racial law here where they were against race mixing. The white man was actually keeping the law when he said that there should be no race mixing, even though he was screwing the black woman, right? But he was actually keeping the law. He was keeping the law when he said no race mixing, right? He was keeping God's law. Right? Now people might say, oh, brother, how can you say that? The white man is this, the white man is that. Because that's how God comes down on people who break the law. He came down, the white man was allowed to come down on our people because we broke the law, because we wouldn't listen. So since, you was infatuated with these people and you listened to these people over God, he allowed these people to judge you. He allowed these people to destroy you. He allowed these people to whoop the hell out you and keep you in servitude over these people. Under these people. And that's real. See, the black man don't want to hear that part. But you can't deny it. He want to go all the way around and talk about black revolution and this is the blueprint to how we can get free and all this BS. Everybody got a blueprint on how to get free. No, your blueprint don't work. Black man, black woman, revolutionary, it don't work. Because all you're doing is following a white blueprint, and it's never going to work for you. You got to deal with God. That's the one who's allowed you to go into bondage. It had nothing to do with the white man. Don't give him the credit. You went into bondage because of your own ignorance. You went into bondage because of your own ignorance, and you were judged as so. God said, if you're not going to listen to me, well, then go listen to the white man. Be in judgment under him. I don't have time to deal with you. This is how God obviously did it. He allowed you to go into bondage and under judgment to him. Because when we was listening to him, when we were in tune with God, when we were in tune with Amen, look at what we did. Look at the societies we built. You understand? We were in power for thousands and thousands of years. Right? America's not even 300 years old yet. We were in power for thousands and thousands of years when we kept God's laws. As the ancient Nubians, as the ancient Egyptians, as the ancient Sumerians, we were in power for thousands and thousands of years. When one society went out, another society came in and we took over and we was ruling. Then we started letting other people come in, mix their seed, breaking their law. We started eating the wrong foods. We started eating swine. We started just doing all this madness, causing confusion. We allowed the law to be broken. Right? We allowed the confusion to be go out. We allowed it. Now look at our people. Look at our people as a result of that. Look at our people under Allah. Look at our people in the ghettos under Allah. Look at our people in the ghettos under Jesus Christ in the church. Look at our people in the ghettos under Yahweh Shah and your Hebrew your Israelite teachers. Look at our people. Professing that some God going to come and save them and do this, that, and the third for them and give them a kingdom back to rule. But look, y'all not talking about no kingdom moving forward. Because God is dealing with the next world. He ain't all that nonsense about God gonna come back and it's gonna be the way it used to be. No, it's not gonna be the way it used to be. It's gonna be different. God is change. Change is alive and living. Change is constant. It's not gonna be the same. Because if it was meant to go back to that, he could have just put you back to there like that. But God don't work that way. God moves forward. He don't go backwards. See, this is something the black man don't understand. That's why he want to keep going into these old religions. He want to keep reading the Bible because he keep hoping like hell things going to just flip back around and he going to be walking around with sandals on and robes on because he want to escape the reality of what you're living in today. You want to escape the reality. You want to think that the white man's society is coming down. How the hell the white man's society going to come down and you got nothing to replace it? You're not ready to stand up like men and be men and step in and keep this. Because, like I said, you pull out the so-called white man society, like I said, it'll be chaos. He's keeping order. He's the only hinge pinch right now that's in the building of this society that's keeping order. Can you imagine if he wasn't keeping order here, what would happen? Can you imagine if the white man wasn't keeping order here, what would happen? It would be chaos. I'm going to be real with it. And hell, half you black men out here to talk this nonsense about the downfall of the government and the society, y'all would be out here acting like savages. You'd be out here robbing and stealing and raping and doing half this stuff. All the so-called righteousness will go out of a lot of you black men, and your true self will come out once the white man is no longer keeping order. Your true self will come out. That's judgment. You're being deemed unfit to receive the intelligence of God. The people who are receiving this reception of intellect. Because like I said, we don't practice no religion of Christianity. If you think this is religion, no, it is not. This is reception. This is straight reception from God. The reception of God is intellect because it is only for those who are mentally elect, the chosen few. That's real. That is real. Because no black man today, no so-called black man today is going to stand up here and whoop and give our people the whooping that they deserve. You ain't going to find the Muslims doing it. They're going to sit up here and keep talking about, oh, the black man is righteous by nature, and he going to keep on with this, the black man is good by nature. No, you're not good by nature. Because if you was good by nature, then you'd be doing good things. You're not good by nature. You're not bad by nature. You've become useless by nature. You become useless by nature. Don't matter how good you are and how, you're such a nice person and you don't have a harsh word to say. That's not how God works. God don't give a damn about nice people. He don't give a damn about bad people. Y'all, to God, y'all all the same, really. God sees you as the same. Only in your mind you think you different. Only in your small minds, your simple minds, you think you're different. You think, oh, I'm good. I'm not like that bad person over there, or I'm not like this. No, it's not about good and bad with God. It's about usefulness. Who is useful? Who can receive God's reception? Who can keep his law? It's not about good and bad. I'm not saying go out here and be negative or whatever. I'm saying, use common sense and logic. Govern yourself by that. Not by positive and negative, because it's the same thing. See, our people don't want to do that. Our people don't want that kind of God. Right? They want some false God that won't judge them. They want to believe that they God. Or they want to sit up here and say there is no God. How the hell is it no God when there's a structure and an order here? Obviously, you're following some structure and order here. You didn't pop yourself here, because if you popped yourself here, pop yourself out of here. Like Tupac told the 5%ers when they was up in jail talking about they gods. Tupac said, then open the damn gate if you God. Right? That's the madness of the damn black man. You wouldn't be in jail. You wouldn't be under the bondage of the beast if you wasn't acting like beast. Because you black men are the beast now. You act like beasts. You act just like him. So don't sit up here and call the white man the devil and the beast. You are the devils and beasts as well. You are the black versions of the devil and the beast. You are black devils. God is judging you as such. But like I said, in the mind of God, that don't really even matter. Don't matter if you good or bad. The black man has just been judged as useless. That's why your thoughts are useless. That's why your words have no weight. That's why when you talk, don't nobody take you seriously. Not even your own damn black woman. She don't take you seriously. That's real. I said raw and uncut tonight. Raw and uncut. Time to start standing up and being men. Leave the black race alone, because y'all in darkness. We raise into a new level in the state of Mentel. We'll be right back. Now, the people know that the true people of God, they know that this type of talk is necessary. They know it. The true people of God know this kind of talk is necessary. You know the type of people who don't like this kind of talk? Who will say, oh, Nuben, you preaching. Oh, brother, you sound kind of preachy. You know those type. You know what kind of people those are? Those are the people that have been judged already. They're not God's people. Because if they were truly God's people, they'd be like, yo, you know what? That brother's right. You know, he's telling the truth. You know, our people are in a bad state. Our people are useless. Our people have become useless. That's the time. See, you know, this is what the so-called people, you know, the conscious people in the Negroes today, they want to hear. They want to hear Egypt. They want to hear Black Power, Moorish science. They want to hear that nonsense. These are the people who are out of tune with God. These are the people who are out of tune with Amen. Those are not Amen's people. You know, those people who they want to hear. You know, they want to hear phony well-wishing. They want to hear. They want to hear you patting everybody in the back. They want to hear you talk about how great we are as a black people. No, in the hell we not. No, in the hell we are not. Or they are not, I should say. Because, like I said, they can't stand to hear this kind of talk. They want to hear, you know, you too preachy for them. You know why? Because everything I'm saying, everything I'm talking about fits them. Lazy, good-for-nothing niggas who all they want to do is sit around and talk about nothing and then claim that the white man's the devil and that he's evil and that, you know, they righteous, they the true righteous people and this, that, and the third. Like I said, but you somewhere smoking weed, selling drugs, doing things that mentally dead. Or you basically doing nothing but talking. There's no action to back up your words. Sitting in meetings and whatnot and talking about what some people did 5,000 years ago or who did what. It did a bunch of people who died a long time ago. That's not God's people doing that. God's people are having opening themselves up to be the receivers and doing things into the future today. They are living people that are producing living works. That's what God people are doing right now. That's what the people of Amen are doing. The true and living God, Amen. Not Jesus, not Muhammad, not Jah, not Yahweh Shah, because you see what the people of those gods are doing. They've been judged as useless. That's why they're not doing a damn thing. If these people are supposed to be so useful and these people are supposed to be the people of God, all the singing and praying and the dancing in the damn church, like I said, those are the people who are not receiving God's reception. They're not receiving it. They're receiving man's religion, but they're not receiving they're not getting God's reception. They've already been judged as mentally dead. So I'm not even talking to you. They are already the mentally dead. The ones of our people who can't stand to listen to this, who are not being charged by this, because you're supposed to, when you hear this, you're supposed to be charged by this word. You're supposed to be charged by this reception. Because the true and living word of Amen is coming through me right now. It's coming through me right now. Amen's words, Amen's reception is coming through me right now. You understand that? Raw and uncut in this day and time. Raw and uncut. Not talking about some nonsense. Not talking about the damn Matrix. Or sitting around here talking about some Moorish rights. Or still trying to make a deal with the white man. And he's not in no position to make no deal with nobody. Still thinking by dealing with him, you're going to get yourself out of that. You know why you black men say that? Because you really believe he's your judge. You know, you really believe that. He became your judge because God allowed that. He'll never let you free. He'll never do it right by you. because God told him not to. God allowed him to be over you to punish you. That's your judgment. That's your judgment for disobeying God, for not keeping the order, for not keeping the flowing procession of intelligence going. God set the black man and black woman up, the so-called black man and black woman up on the planet as the physical manifestations of him to constantly keep building. And y'all was doing it for a while. You was building Samaria, Egypt, and all those societies. You ruled the world. Then you start breaking the laws. Then you start mixing your seed. Then you start doing what you wanted to do. Then you start trying to be like everybody else. So then you had to be replaced. You had to be replaced. You had to be taken out of power, and a new people had to be put in power over you to keep the order going. And that's how the white man came to power, because he took a vow. He took an oath to keep the judgments of God. He placed himself in judgment of God, not under no man. That's why the white man walks the earth and does what the hell he want to do, because the only one he really answers to is God. You got to answer to him. He answers to God because he's in tune with God. Who else did he worry about? You understand? You used to be like that. The black man and black woman, all you answered to was God. You kept God's commandments. You kept his word. You kept his law. Now you sit up here and you just answer to the damn white man. You got to go to work for him. You understand? You still got his image up in your churches. You still got to run to him for a job. You still got to be on his system. You understand that? Because you refuse to make your connection with God again. You refuse to establish that reception with God again. We doing that in the state of Mentel. Gradually, we starting to build that reception. And those of you who claim you with me, I don't see you. I don't see you. You're not out here ready to come and do the work. You're not out here ready to come and find our people and build up this reception. So those of you people who sitting up here on my Facebook, thumbing me up and saying, yeah, brother, that's the truth, brother, that's the truth. But you in the damn tri-state area and you won't sit with us? You won't help find our people? You won't be here when we tell you to be here? When I'm sitting out, we sitting up here putting money out of our pockets to get space for you to come out so that we can put on class and not open myself up to any questions for anybody to come? And you not doing it, and you not trying to come with our people, unfriend yourself from me. Unfriend yourself from me. I don't need friends like you. I said on my Facebook page, I said I don't want any more lukewarm niggas and no more ice water people around me. That includes you people who are phony well wishers. I don't need your well wishes. You're not fooling me. I don't come with me with none of this hippie nonsense, putting all this long stuff on my wall, telling me about peace and love. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't read what you're saying. I don't want to hear you telling me about Egypt. Egypt is dead. Amen lives. That's all that was ever important. Amen is important, not Egypt, not America, not England. God is important. But y'all don't see it that way because you still want to be up under him. You still want to think that you can come to mankind and things will be okay. If you make a deal with him, it ain't going to be okay. Just like God popped you out of position of power and put him in, he'll pop him out of position of power and put the next man in. He'll pop him out of the position of power and put the next man in. So then what you going to do, black man? You going to be on your knees to the next man, to the Asian man? Because if he come to power, like it said in the book of Revelation, when the dragon come to power, you're going to be on your knees to him, begging him to make movies for you, begging him for a job, begging him for welfare. And he going to tell you hell no. Because he ain't as nice as the white man. The Asians, they not as nice. They don't believe in welfare. You understand? You're going to still be on your knees begging. You understand? You go over to the damn Chinese restaurant, he'll look at you funny, cross-eyed if you short a quarter on Chinese food. You think he's going to give you something? That's what it's coming down to. Because you black men and black women, y'all don't operate as receptionaries or receivers of God's intelligence anymore. You don't operate that way. So you've been judged as useless. That's why you don't think it's wrong when you sitting around in the damn strip club, or you sitting around watching the New York Nets, or whatever the hell you doing, or you black women sitting up here perming the hell out of your hair, putting poison in your hair. Then later on you got all kinds of tumors and cancer, or you getting AIDS, or you getting all kinds of STDs, all kinds of filth going on, or you walking around, the black man walking around abusing you. You understand? Or you got all these stray bastard kids out of wedlock with everybody. You don't understand why that is. You don't understand that. Because that's the people that are out of tune with God. That's the people who are out of reception with God. You don't see the white man like that, the elite. You don't see them like that. You don't see them with a bunch of stray kids now, do you? You don't see them like that. You understand? They got more morals than you. You understand? They do they dirt. They lay up and they screw and stuff like that, but they ain't having kids all out. They use protection and all that stuff. They not having them. They not getting pregnant and having 4 and 5 different baby daddies. They not doing that. Y'all doing that. See, your reverend, he ain't gonna tell you that's wrong. He'll tell you, oh, that's okay, sister. It's all right. You know, God understands that you a whore. I mean, that you a sister. And no. See, he ain't gonna tell you that because he wants you to keep coming and putting money in the plate. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with, you know, doing what you do. You understand? I'm not saying you don't. You know, these people are not having intercourse or having sex and whatnot and expressing that part of themselves, because that people are going to do that. There's nothing wrong with sex, but be responsible about it. Don't come bringing babies into the world that you know you're not going to want to take care of later. Don't go get an abortion. Use some protection. That's what protection was put here for. Protection wasn't the idea of man. Protection was the idea of God. God put it in the heads of man to make condoms. You understand? Because like I said, no ideas come from man. You know what I mean? Except fragmented ones, except stupid ones. You know what I mean? But condoms was a smart thing. You understand? It was a smart thing to keep the birth rate down here, because God didn't want the earth overpopulated. You understand? Obviously, he came up, because if he didn't come up with somebody and pop the idea into man's head to create condoms, then we'd have the damn planet be all weighed down heavily than what it is now. So that was an idea that came from the mind of God. People say, oh, that sounds crazy. You know, condoms. All ideas come from God. Man don't think up nothing. Man degenerates it. He takes bits and pieces and fragments it into other things, but all ideas come from God. The idea to put you in bondage came from God, to punish you. The idea to have your backs whipped because you refused to listen, to punish you, because you were already encoded knowing what was right and what's wrong, but y'all chose to do what you wanted to do. You chose to come down to the level of mankind and do what the beast was doing. So now you with him. Now he was allowed to be over you. That's your judgment. As he brings in the next world, as God is bringing in the next world, right? Because this one is going out. Why? Because this world can't function on God's intelligence. God wants to shoot a whole new level of intelligence, wants to transmit, wants to send a new level of intelligence into this atmosphere, and it has to be for people whose minds are on that level to receive it. When it says ascend, right? Ascend, meaning to rise. That means God is going to send, Amen is going to send new intelligence into this atmosphere for the elect ones to pick it up. And those who are judged, right? Those who receive the judgment, a.k.a. the judgmental, when God judges the minds of the people who are able to receive his intelligence versus those who are not, he's going to do away with the people who are not. That's real. And he's going to keep the people who can. You understand? He's going to keep the people that can. That's why, like I said, everybody knows, everybody's with this doomsday thing. They know, well, damn, doomsday's coming. I'm not talking about on the 21st, but actually the 21st starts the countdown. So the Mayans did know something. The 21st does start the countdown because somebody put it in their heads for a reason. You understand? God wants to speed this thing up. Amen wants to speed this thing up. and he's speeding it up. And the people who can't keep up, you're gonna be rolled over. You either gonna roll with it, or you're gonna be rolled over. It's happening right now. You understand? You're gonna see a lot of people come down. You're gonna see a lot of things come down. A lot of people who you thought was a bomb. Like I see this big time drug dealer, you know, and like I said, you niggas, y'all worship that image of the drug dealer riding the whips, the Maybachs, and all this other stuff. All these guys, the big drug dealers, and the guys who had all this money, and that's the stuff you guys look up to in hip hop, and this, that, and the third. They had all the women. Then these guys are sitting in jail for 40, 50 years for the rest of their life. They ain't got nothing. The white man took all their money. That was the judgment of God. That I thought God loved the gangsters. I thought God loved the hustlers. Right? I thought God loved the gangsters and the hustlers, and he understand the hustlers. You niggas walked around with the white Jesus piece on your neck like a bunch of coons and sambos, and that same white man took it all away from you and put you in a cage like a monkey. God allowed that to happen. That was your judgment for what you did. That was your judgment, because you were deemed useless. You were deemed useless by God. That's why God said you serve more of a purpose in jail, busting down rocks and making license plate, whatever the hell they got y'all doing, building roads for the white man, that washing dishes, mopping up the mess hall. That's the only purpose you really serve. That's why that's your judgment. That's why you guys, when you do that stuff, you never really get away with it. You never get away. Y'all always end up getting caught. That's how you say ball till you fall. Y'all always fall, and that's the people the black man, the black woman look up to. So if your image is falling, right, that means you're going to fall with it. God said in the Bible, he said he spits out the lukewarm people. You know, he spat them out of their mouth, meaning the people who are not hot for the truth, meaning the people who are not hot for this intelligence, hot for this word, hot for the reception. You understand? To raise the people. That should spark you to come together collectively and raise your people. Those are the people who are deemed useful to God, because that's what it's about with God. That's how God judges you, by whether you're useful or useless. It's not about whether you're good or bad, whether you're useful or useless. And the majority of our people, as I said, the so-called black race, y'all useless. What the majority of the rest of the damn planet? Y'all useless. So if y'all sit up here and say, oh, you know, the natural disasters and all this stuff, God allowed that to happen in New Orleans and in Haiti. He allowed those people to die. You understand that? He allowed it. Why? Because y'all was breaking the laws. Y'all was useless. You served no purpose. Just going to work every day and going to church on Sunday don't mean you serve a purpose to God. That doesn't mean you serve a purpose. You understand? Yeah, you got a positive life, but what purpose do you serve beyond that, just doing the regular things? Because God is not a regular man. If God is not a regular man, then you shouldn't be a regular man or a regular woman. If you are people of God, if you are a God body or a God race of people, don't sit up here and tell me you a God or a goddess or whatever the hell you say you are, and you're not doing anything to pull the gods and goddesses together, doing something that's extraordinary, out of the norm as the rest of these regular dead people that's walking around out here. If you're not doing nothing above and beyond what the regular people are doing out here, then you're not God. Don't give me this crap about you, God. You understand that? Don't give me this crap about you, God. You know? Our people, like I said, they want to make it about the white man. It's not about him. He was allowed, like I said, a lot of our people who are not in tune, you're not going to get this. Y'all slow. You understand? Because the white man is your God. You keep making him the focal point. You keep making this black and white thing the focal point when that's not the focal point. The focal point is God. God allowed our people to go into bondage under the white man. You understand that? See? Here goes systems on fire. There you go again. See? I'm going to have to kick you out again. I didn't say, see? Here we go. I'm going to have to kick you out again because there you go being causing confusion. I didn't say without the white man you'd be doomed. You hearing what you want to hear. You know? I didn't say that. I said our people are out of tune with God. So therefore, we are suffering. That's why we are suffering right now. Our people are out of tune with God. We broke the laws of God. That's why we under the white man. And some ignorant Negro gonna come in here and still try to make it about the white man. Gonna still try to make it about the white man. You understand? Still trying to make it about him. It's not about him. You understand? It's not about him. He's not the problem. We are. But you want to make it about him. That's what ignorant Negroes do. That's what ignorant submental Negroes do. They want to get mad at me because I'm telling the truth. You know, they want to make it about the white man. It's never our fault. It's never the black man's fault. He ain't never did nothing. You just the best person in the world. And even like I said, you people who are not engaged in doing nothing, like I said, what are you out here doing? What are you out here really doing? You understand? The white man is my God, like I said. Like I said, coming in causing confusion. You understand? And then go out. See, that's all the black man good for. There you go. Systems on fire. That's all the black man is good for, causing confusion. You understand? I said that everything rested on the shoulders of our people of why we the way we are. I said because we out of tune with God. That's why we were allowed to go into the white man. But from that, this idiot gets that I said the white man is our God. But that's what the black man do. He can't do nothing to help his people, so he come in here and do that. You understand? You know. But as our people are trying to move forward, as our people are trying to move out of this mindset, like I said, for those of our people who can't take this, who don't like this kind of talk, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. This is not for you. This is for our people who are going to be responsible, who want to receive the intelligence of God again. That's what we coming together for. So we ferreting out these people. I don't want no conscious people listening to me. I don't want you niggas who in the conscious community listening to me. Don't listen to me. Systems on fire and all you. Don't come listen to my chat room. Why do you come over here? You understand? Because you prove the fact that you are useless. You're not useful to the evolution of God. So don't come around me. I want to play a little bit of music. Let me see. Well, I want to say in January 27th, that'll be the next State of Mentel Supermen, Superwomen project. I know it's a little early to be announcing it. But January 27th in Brooklyn will be the next meeting of our people. We should be trying to come together collectively, wherever you are, and raising our people and staying in touch with the State of Mentel, because we're the only ones out here talking about the evolution of our people. You understand? I look on YouTube and I see all the so-called conscious and black this and black that. I see all these people out here claiming to do something for our people, and they're not doing nothing but keeping the ignorance going. That's all I see. I see people keeping ignorance going. I see people that keep talking about the same thing over and over again. You understand? That's what I see. I see people talking about just keeping ignorance going in society. That's all I see. I don't see people trying to further the intelligence of our people. You understand? When I see people trying to further the intelligence of our people, when I see our people doing that, then I'll be like, okay, or that you coming together with our people collectively, because, you know, with all these different societies, movements, and organizations that people are trying to set up, like I said, it's just people just trying to make money and trying to get paid. And like I said, that's the answer. Like I said, that's their answer to everything, money. That's their answer. Never people were taking responsibility for what they did. Never that. Never that. Never people that are taking responsibility for anything themselves. How do you build a strong people? By forcing them to take responsibility. You understand? We got to come back in front of God again, standing up, not on our knees, not in submission, but ready to receive the transmission of God. And the only way that's going to happen, you understand? The only way that's going to happen is if we shed these ignorant people from around us and shed the ignorance out of ourselves. You understand? That's the only way we're going to be able to accomplish that. We'll be right back. Somebody said in the chat room that I love the white man. That's funny. I said I don't love the black man or the white man. I love Amen. My love is for Amen and the bright race that are coming up to follow Amen, that are following me to follow Amen. I follow Amen. I love the bright people, the bright race, the people who are coming out of the black race who are following Amen, the elect. You understand that? That's who I love. My love is not for the black race, because you black people are no different than the white man. You talking about I love the white man. It's funny how when I truthfully beat on and chastise and try to, like I said, and even when I do that, I don't do it for the black race. I'm not whipping the black race because I don't care what the black race does. I'm about as done with the black race as Armin is done with you. I do it to raise the bright race out of you. Like I said, it's like beating a carpet, and you beat the carpet to get the dust out of the carpet. The bright race represents the dust in the carpet. And you get the analogy. I'm trying to raise the bright ones out of the black race. Because like I said, the black race already dead. They're not even hearing what I'm saying. There's a guy who comes in here, that idiot, Shifter's on fire. You can tell he's mentally dead. I said nothing about that the black people would have, without white people, black people wouldn't survive. I didn't say nothing like that. That just shows you that he's mentally dead. Because if he was truly alive, he would have heard what I said. Nobody heard me say anything like that. But that's what the mentally dead do. That's what the mentally disturbed do. The people who are not in tune with God, they can't hear the words of God. You hear something from talking about some white man because he's your God. You think everything out of my mouth is about uplifting the white man because in your mind you uplift the white man. You think he's your God. That's why everything with you is black and white. I said the hell with the black race and the white race and the human race. You understand? I follow God. That's all that's important because God can collapse the whole damn planet and everybody on it. So why the hell do I care about the black race or the white race or the human race? I care about God, Amen. Not his creations, not his creatures. I'm about the manifestation of Amen, first and foremost. You understand? And not no Amen from Egypt. You understand? The true and living God, Amen. The one who put this thing in order. The Amen, the true and living God, who came here with a race of gods, who created man and woman in their image and after their likeness. That's real. He is real. The white man knows he's real. For those of you who think I'm saying some mythological God, hell, I'll make it simpler for you so you understand it. The white man believes in Amen, the elite. So that now I guess that'll make it maybe more palatable for you to accept now that your God, the white man, believes in Amen, the true and living God. When he put Morgan Freeman up there, like I said, as Amen, as that was him putting God up there in your face. He put Morgan Freeman up there as God to let you know who he sees as God. You understand? That's why he did that. That wasn't just no movie, and that's just something that came in his head, and he thought it would be funny, and that it was a joke. Why would he do that? You understand? Why would he do that? Oh, he think it's funny, it was just a joke. Like I said, he can manage not to give all you black people in Hollywood no damn roles, give you hood roles and stupid roles and prostitute roles and roles where you homosexuals and you getting raped by other men. He can manage to do that, but he took the pristine, the image of God and gave it to a black man, Morgan Freeman. The supreme ruler of the world, he made the image of a black man. The ancient Egyptians showed the image of God as a black man. They kept showing physical images back and forth of God as a black man. Then the white man puts God in a movie as a black man. Coincidence? Sarah Silverman puts God up and says and calls him Amen. I'm gonna post it on my wall. Amen. Black man with a white suit on. Coincidence? But like I said, to you people who into the black and white thing, it went over your head. Y'all not even going to see that. Y'all can keep looking at the damn Matrix movie and talking about how heavy that is and thinking everything is a game. Or you come here and you listen to this radio broadcast and this is just something to blow your mind because there's nothing in there. There's nothing in your mind in the first place. You think I'm just giving out information or I'm being heavy or I'm being deep or this is something to entertain you. Because you're used to radio shows or sitting up here listening to some simple-minded niggas in the conscious community going back and forth with each other, arguing and whatnot, like it's some damn Jerry Springer show. You're used to that madness. So when you come over here, you think that's what you're going to hear. You're not hearing that here. You're not coming here to get your mind blown. Like I said, this is about raising a people up collectively. to become those receivers of God. That's what this is about. To bring about the reception of God, not a religion of man. The reception of God. And like I said, those of our people who don't like this frequency, who don't like this reception, you're not the people of God. Because I hear people tell me, oh, well, brother, when you got to start talking like that, brother, I'm not feeling that. I don't know why you got to talk like that, because you're not the people of God. That's why. That's why you don't like that. You like all that other nigga nonsense. You was up here talking about Moorish science and Egypt and all this other, and walking around with ankhs and big ankh rings, all that dead society nigga nonsense, all that dead society stuff, because you're of man. You're not with God. Because God's people don't worry about past cultures. God's people create future cultures. That's what we do. We create future things. We don't worry about things of the past. God comes in, teaches the people like he did in Egypt, builds up a society, speed up their intelligence, and then keeps it moving. He's on to the next time frame. He's on to the next time frame. He's sending images to man's mind to speed up his intelligence. Then he's on to the next time frame. Y'all the only ones that get all caught up in the pyramids, the Ankh, the Z pillar, and this is what the Z pillar did, and y'all keep with this over and over and over again like y'all retarded or something. You sit up here and paying people $20 to sit up here and say the same thing to you over and over and over again, like y'all slow. Like y'all rode the short bus to school, and I guess a lot of y'all probably did. That's why y'all can keep sitting up here listening to the same thing. God has already judged you as simple-minded, ignorant, unworthy to receive his intelligence. That's why you can't listen to this. But to the ones who can listen to this, the ones who are tuning in, they know that there's power in these words, because there's always power in chastisement. There's power in chastisement. You know? The people who are looking at the chastisement, they saying to themselves, damn, I got to do better. You understand? You know? The people who are getting the chastisement, they saying, I got to do better. What can I do to receive God's intelligence and spread this message? That's what they saying. The people who ain't trying to spread God's message and they just want to hear a good speech and this, that, and the third, and they gonna still do what they've been doing. Y'all don't want to hear this talk. You want to be here for the talks when I'm talking about Egypt and Africa and the white man. When I say something about the white man, like I said, he's off a lot better than you all. He's off better than you all. The same people who sit up here and talk about, I love the white man and whatnot, these are the same niggas that's going to work for the white man. These are the same niggas that's sitting up here on Blog Talk and all this other stuff that they say came from the white man. These are the same ones who going up here buying clothes from the white man, but they don't love the white man. Right? I didn't make the white man the focal point of this discussion, because just as his society came in, God will take his society out. Nobody is above God's judgment. Nobody. But I know you black men believe that the white man is. That's why you run to him and you want to make deals with him. You want to talk about treaties and all this other nonsense with him, and he's not making no deals with you. You understand? He's not making no deals with you. You understand? He's not making any deals with you. The deal department is closed, nigga. He's not making no deals with you. What has he got to gain from making any deals with you? You've already been judged. You've been judged by God, and he's allowing them to do this to you because you serve no purpose. You were the perfect receiver at one time, the black man, the so-called black man and black woman. You were the perfect receivers of God's intelligence. You were the perfect receivers of God's intelligence at one time because you were the natural manifestations of God. Now, you have stopped being those natural manifestations of God. Now you just like the creation. You even lower than the creatures. You lower. Because at least the creatures, at least the creation, they following the way of God. You ain't doing that. They serving a purpose. You ain't serving no purpose. What purpose do you serve? That's what I'm asking. I ask you all, what purpose do you serve? At least what I'm teaching, I'm teaching the intelligence of God to my people to try to bring them back in tune with God, or bring them forward and in tune with God. You understand? To cut their soul light on, to cut that power light on in our people again. That's my purpose. That's what I do when I got struck with the reception of God 10 years ago in 2003 at the age of 33. That's what I did. I started teaching my people with only with one or two people with me. I started my journey. That's what happened when. That's what happens when you receive the intelligence of God. When you receive the reception of God, it's either gonna make you start doing what you're cut on to do. And for me, that was teaching, writing books, teaching class, doing this radio broadcast. That's what building a society, building another movement. That's what that struck me to do. Now, you people that claim you will receive as a God of almond intelligence, why are you not getting in line? Because as I said, there's only one teacher. Everybody else has got to be soldiers. Why are you not lining up? Why are you not lining up in Amun's intelligence army? Why are you not lining up in the intelligence army of Amun to be receivers? Right? Why are you not lining up? Why are we not seeing you in class, you people in the tri-state area that claim you listening to my broadcast? You know why? Because y'all a bunch of information junkies. You think this is information I'm spitting out to you. You think I'm here to entertain you. You think I'm some damn character from a movie. That's how gone you are. No. This is the pure intelligence of Amun, the true and living God coming through in this day and time. You understand? That's what this is. But for the people who are not in tune, this is preaching to you. You don't like how it sounds. Or why you got to be preachy. I'm out. You know, go be out, nigga. Go be out. Go be out. Go smoke your weed. Go listen. Go watch some TV reality show. Go try to screw your woman. Whatever you niggas are doing out here in the world, which is nothing. Go read some books about Ivan Van Sertima. Go get you the next Yankee cap. Talk about the next conscious meeting you going to. Go to the next club. Y'all not doing a damn thing out here, man. Nothing. You've been deemed useless. The black race has already been judged. The end. You black women have already been judged. That's why you can't find no man. Don't no man want to be with you. And the men you keep getting, the men you keep getting ain't worth a damn. Because you ain't worth a damn. You've already been judged. You're not trying to change. You're not trying to boost the reception. You don't want God's connection. You want to sit around and talk about ankhs and ancient books of the dead because you're dead. There's no life in you. The real people who with me, I'm supposed to see you. Y'all supposed to be out in the streets helping me raise this movement, raise this new nation, raise this new society, raise this new state. That's where y'all supposed to be with me, asking me, what can I do? Not asking me when the next show gonna be or inboxing me a bunch of stupid questions and don't want to show up in class. Nah, I'm not answering you. You're not with me. All this hooting and hoop hollering and all this bright race crap. I had a sister do that, a sister who's gonna remain nameless, who did all that hooting and hollering for the bright race. Now she out in the street smoking cigarettes and doing whatever the hell she doing in the world. Nothing. So that's what all that means to me. Nothing. Let me go ahead and read this thing. I'm not mad. I'm just, getting it off. Had to. Certain things had to be said because it's time to build this state. We're not playing around no more. It's about resurrecting the reception of Amun, building this reception of mentellect, not no religions of Christianity, Islam, and all that, because religion was something we went through. Religion was something that we went through to get to it was something we ended up going through to get back to the reception or get forward to the reception of God. That's what we were supposed to do. So, what is God's next judgment on the people of this world? It's a mental judgment. The judgment is judgmental. Those who are going to be deemed useful and those who are useless. It's not about good and evil anymore. Don't believe that nonsense they tell you in religion, because plenty of good people die every day. Whole bunch of good people died in the World Trade Center. Good people died in Hurricane Katrina. Good people died in Haiti and all that stuff. So it's not about good and bad with God. It's about useful and useless with God. The black man and black woman have become useless. That's why people are catching hell in the ghettos, getting shot down by the police. Everything we go undergoing, STDs, abortions, baby daddies, fathers leaving their children. Like I said, a nation of people in torment and chaos. Punishment. Punishmental. You are disconnected from God mentally. That's your punishment. That's your punishmental judgment. Amen is God. Amen is God. Amen is God. All right? Is it real or just a story? The judgment of the world and God. It's very real. It's not a story. You understand? Just as the white man judges you in the court system, he got that idea of judgment and judging man from God. We was judging people in Egypt. So yes, we are judgmental people. By nature, we're supposed to be. Don't let nobody tell you don't judge. But judge people based on how God judges, and judge yourself and hold yourself accountable the same way. Or else you're a hypocrite and you will be judged. Who will be judged? Everybody will be judged. Everybody, the white man, the black man, all these human race will be judged. Useful or useless. That's who stays and continues in the bloodline, and that's who it goes and no longer is and discontinues. You understand? Can people escape judgment? No, you cannot. You cannot escape judgment. As soon as you were manifested here on the planet, or whether you were created on the planet, you are under judgment. You are under judgment. You are under judgment, under the judgmental frequency, under the judgmental reception of God. Amen. You are under the judgment. You understand? What is the real coming of the new world? The real coming of the new world is the coming of a whole new society, movement, new thinkers, advanced thinking that is going to be sparked, intelligently sparked by God. The same way God sparked the Egyptians, because it was a time before when people were walking around in ignorance and in darkness, but he sparked the intelligence of man and moved them forward. He sped them up. So a new spark, or a new intellectual spark, is going to come to the people who are in tune with God. That's why I'm trying to get our people in tune with God, so that we can receive that new spark of light to move us forward as a new race of people into the future. This is the evolutionary jump that we've been waiting on. It's coming. But we have to come together collectively as a people. If that's not happening, then, like I said, y'all under the judgment of the beast. You out here on your own. You out here in the world. You of the world. Right? Who will be in charge of it? The bright race will be in charge of the new world. Right? See, the elite are actually the artificial versions of the elect. Your elite, your white powers that be, they are the artificial versions of the elect. You understand? They operate as the artificial versions of the elect. They're sitting in your seats, governing the world, because y'all didn't want the seat. So don't sit up here and blame the white man, because you broke the laws of God. You stepped out of your place. You stepped off your throne, and he was allowed to take over, because somebody had to keep the order. Because the planet would have been overrun with savages. Black, white, blue, Asian, whatever, would have been overrun with savages. You understand? So, that's it. That is it. Let me see. How many minutes we got left? We got 6 minutes left. I want to play something nice. Questions, and well, I got 5 minutes to go. I'm not taking any questions. I said the 27th of January should be the next Supermen, Superwomen project. Like I said, this is not about race. It's not about blaming anybody. Like I said, the blame is on our people, because we broke the laws of God. The law was to be upright people and come together collectively. You understand? Collectively, not as individuals, collectively, to receive the reception of God. That was the law. That was the order that went out to the people. So, we're about to end this broadcast. It's been a good night. I am the intellectual Newbin Menkares. This has been State of Mentel Radio. Good night.
Yeah. It's the Republic of Intellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Intellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities